The power of yes. There is a trap in what may be seen and felt as solitude that is actually separation. When one has taken the choice to be truly free and has plunged into self-discovery by any name, awareness of what is real and what is not begins to dawn upon the separated state of existence, that state that suggests that we are individual entities who live apart from every other entity and circumstance. Identification with the separated state begins to fall away as our attention becomes more and more focused on one truth or oneness. At some point, we take up a position of witness to the play of existence and somehow know that what we are experiencing is not who we are. This is what I call the little freedom, not full self-realization freedom, but a state in which suffering no longer exists, since we can no longer see victims in a world where everything is one, despite its apparent separated appearance. In this state, awareness of truth expands exponentially, since we cease waffling between separated victim consciousness and oneness consciousness, that can still feel pain, but does not suffer with all the distractions that suffering engenders. In our expanded awareness, fewer and fewer experiences occur that used to occur, since the separated mind cannot relate to oneness and almost magnetically is repelled by the force oneness seems to exert. We find ourselves alone a lot, unable to relate to many so-called others, or more accurately, other aspects of the false self. It can be a very lonely experience at the beginning, but eventually is felt as solitude, a very beautiful and peace-filled state. Now, here is where the trap may occur. There's a very subtle tendency that affects some that can be missed by the witness. The separated self, or conditioned ego mind, never comes in the front door once we've discovered its tricks. We may begin to feel somehow superior to those who are not yet aware of who they are, of the inherent state of oneness that all are. We may, in our teaching, healing, pointing moments, look on others as less than, and this can be heavily masked by a deeper and genuine feeling of lifting all to the awareness we have found. It's a blend of grandiosity and grandeur that can stick ever so softly to our sensitive and expanding awareness consciousness. For me, it was felt as an absence of love. At first, a feeling that love is who I am, but was felt only as just a word. I really didn't feel it towards others. It was far easier to feel some type of love towards an animal, or a flower, or a majestic scene than toward another human, except in the case of tiny children and babies. This stung slightly at first, but the days and years of solitude expanded into decades. There was a very deep loneliness in this aspect of love. I had been in the presence of deep and profound love often, and in its absence the feeling was very painful indeed. And yet, as always, the pain was the gift that awareness required to show me what was happening. If we isolate ourselves through separation, whether aware of this or not, the love that is always present cannot touch our heart, our true self. There's nothing to be so-called done about this. Just the simple recognition that it is occurring is enough. A simple yes. This is what is happening, and I recognize it, is enough to break the spell, and bring it into our awareness instantly every time it begins to happen again, so that we can shift our attention back to the oneness that is all, and pull the plug on the subtle judgment of the temporary that we've been giving energy to. This simple and effortless yes is always the way to deal with any trap the echoes of the separated self still catch us with.